up, YouTube? My name is Mario, aka the Loot Box Hero. Check out the second channel. The second channel is popping, aka the real Super Mario here, bringing you another video. So, on another episode of Pokemon Legends ZA and assorted news video, this one's gonna be pretty much Pokemon packed. This is like 90% Pokemon news. So you're getting a pretty stacked episode today. So we've got Riddler Khu. He is returning. He has information on a brand new Pokemon project, so that's going to be pretty interesting. Some potential information on Detective Pikachu. Not sure if it's the movie or the video game, but it's something. We also have some information about a new Pokemon game releasing in China. I guess it's new to China. It's not really new to us. We're going to talk about all that and a little bit more today. And of course, you want to continue getting videos like this from me. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell button, do all that good stuff that YouTube requires you to do. To continue getting videos from me, follow me at twitter.com/RSMario128. Like my video tweet, share my video tweet. Now, shout you out at this portion of the video. Let's get on into this. So, starting off, we're going to start off with some of the small stories. We have Central Pokemon Leaks says Pokemon news related to Detective Pikachu is coming on October 4th. So this comes from PokeTimes, which is another Pokemon Twitter account that drops Pokemon news from time to time. And they say October 1st is coffee day, which I didn't know that. I could have had me a cup of coffee yesterday. Speaking of coffee, Detective Pikachu, who loves coffee, may have some great news for the Pokemon Information Bureau, which is PokeTimes. That's the name of the channel, of the Twitter account. On October 4th is the first anniversary of the release of Detective Pikachu Returns. October 1st is Coffee Day. Yeah, so basically just kind of repeats itself. So basically, the first anniversary of Detective Pikachu Returns is on the 4th, so we might have some news. More than likely, it's probably going to be about the game. But since he didn't specifically say the game, it could also be the movie, because allegedly, I believe they are doing a sequel to Detective Pikachu, the movie, which I actually liked. I think it's on Netflix for now. But yeah, I think the Detective Pikachu movie was actually pretty good. So we move over to China. So it looks like in China, we have Chinese Nintendo, which is a Twitter account that updates us on games that finally get approved and released by the CCP to China. And it says, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee is released on September 26th for the Tencent Nintendo Switch in China. The Tencent Nintendo Switch, bro, that is a cursed name, bro. This marks the first time a non-spin-off Pokemon game has been officially released in the PRC, aka the People's Republic of China. So, I know what you're saying. What do you mean? They have Pokemon games in China. What are you talking about, Mario? Here's the thing. China, like, they have to approve everything that gets released in China, specifically coming from foreign countries. And most of the mainline Pokemon games over the last like 20 or so years have not been released in China. Now, you can import them from other countries, but they haven't been officially released and published by Tencent in China. So, yeah, that's the thing. So they haven't been officially released, you know. And this is the first one to get one. Now, last time I reported on something like this, I believe I was talking about the new Pokemon Snap, which was the first Pokemon game officially released, period. This is the first mainline Pokemon game released. So, you know, they're progressing forward. You know, they're getting a little, you know, they get Pokemon games. They'll have Scarlet and Violet by the time we get Legends ZA. All right, so then we get on to Riddler Khu. So, Riddler Khu says, new project hint, and then he puts up some praying hands or some folded hands. Then he says, by the way, this is not Ikaku. That's all we can spill now. Enjoy. So, praying hands or folded hands is all we really get. This could be a reference to several things. I know the biggest reference is like religion. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, because technically folded hands is also praying hands, you know. And so maybe that this could be like associated with something that's like associated to religion in the Pokemon world. So, I mean, the only two things I can really think of would be Unova, since, you know, Unova is based in America. America is a Christian country, so maybe that could be what the reference is, but to me that feels like a stretch, but it's possible. The other reference is Johto, which also, you know, is connected to, you know, religion in Japan and Shinto and whatnot. So I can see that's possibility of a connection there as well. He goes on to say, this one is the big one after Ikaku, and you know the corresponding console. So that basically means that this is the game after Legends ZA. Alright, so this is not about Legends ZA, this is after. And it's going to be on the Switch too, more than likely. So the thing is, like, after Legends ZA, it can only be 3 titles. It can only be, again, Gen 5 remakes, some sort of Gen 2 game, like either a remake or like a Let's Go Hoot Hoot and something, or it's going to be Generation 10. Now, he could be referencing Generation 10, but more than likely, anything about Generation 10 is coming out on the anniversary of Pokemon in 2026. So I don't think they're going to do, like, I don't think that's what he's talking about. I think this is going to be an in-between game, which means that 2025 could be one of those years where we get 2 games in 1 year, which it both sounds really awesome, but also really scary. Because last time that happened, we got BDSP and Legends Arceus, and both of those games weren't exactly bad, even though BDSP, I feel, has been a bit overhated in the years, but it is what it is. So then he goes on, so somebody named Absolutely, who is I believe they post stuff about, what's that other Pokemon mobile game? Masters. They post stuff about Pokemon Masters EX. And he puts the praying hands like in a GIF. And so then Riddler Khu says, oh, near you. So now a lot of people have had a lot of speculations what this means. So a lot of people said that this is a reference to something near Italy, because Masters EX takes place in Parisio, which is a continent that is similar to Italy in the Pokemon world. So something near Italy would be like, you know, something in the Mediterranean, you know what I'm saying? Which I don't know. I've never played Masters EX, so I have no idea what's going on with that. Me personally, I'm going back to a Johto reference. All right, because I think he's talking about Absol as like the Pokemon, not necessarily the Twitter user, you know. So Absol the Pokemon is based off of the Bai Zi from Chinese mythology. And it is said that the Bai Zi actually predicted a plague that would sweep through Toyama Prefecture in Japan. Now, if you look at a map of Japan, the Toyama Prefecture is near where Johto would be on a regular Japanese map. All right, so again, near you means near Johto. I'm thinking it's a Johto project. All right, so I'm thinking that after Legends ZA, we get a Johto project, some kind of remake. Hopefully not a freaking Let's Go thing, but to be honest, first Pokemon game on Switch 2 officially, because I still think that Legends ZA is going to be a cross-generation title. The first official Pokemon exclusive on Switch 2, I could see it being a smaller Let's Go-ish type of game. So, you know, Let's Go friggin' Johto would be, I can see that happening. Let's Go also sold pretty well too, so I could totally see that being a thing. And then the last bit of this Riddler Khu news, there's a guy named J.A. Miles. He says, I hope this is Project Bloom info, because Generation 10 feels so far out, especially when y'all don't have hints for Legends ZA. I really just don't want another region in Europe. So then Riddler Khu says, it's Pokemon related. Ikaku is not a big deal, to be for real. Which, that so much right there in that freaking sentence, okay? Alright, so basically he's just bypassing Legends ZA altogether. He's just like, Legends ZA is not that big a deal. Which I'm like, what do you mean, sir? What do you mean it's not that big of a deal? Bruh, no. Like, I can't, bro. Which means that this kind of explains a lot why there hasn't been a lot of leaks for this. Maybe Legends ZA is not gonna be that big of a game. Maybe it's all contained within the city. You know what I'm saying? Maybe there's no outside of the city. Maybe this is gonna be a smaller title, which that could be a catastrophic mistake, because like there's so much hype around this for it not to be that big of a game, bruh. This could be terrible. This could be terrible, bro. Oh boy. So it's not Project Bloom. Now, if you know what Project Bloom is the other game being made by Game Freak. It's not a Pokemon game. It's an action RPG. And to be honest, I would like to know some information about this game myself, because I kind of want to see what Game Freak can do with an action RPG. You know what I'm saying? So we move on from Riddler Khu stuff. We move on to back to Pokemon Central Pokemon leaks. So they said here is the USDA IAP prices for Pokemon TCG Pocket, which comes out this month, by the way. The premium pass costs $9 a month. So I'm guessing this is like a battle pass type of system. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be $9.99 a month. So kind of like the Overwatch 2 battle pass, where it's like $10. You know, if you want to unlock the whole battle pass, it's like $10. I'm not quite sure what's in the premium pass, because I really haven't been following TCG Pocket like that. But here's the big thing. Here's the interesting part about this. So he says that here are the pull rates for the rare pack and rarest cards in TCG Pocket. Alright, and so we've got the they call them offering rates, but these are basically just pull rates. So these are basically like the possibility of getting this card. That's the pull rate. So when you buy a pack, alright, the possibility of getting Charizard EX is 0.13%, which means it's very unlikely that you will pull it, but it's possible though. You know, it's more possible than pulling the Uber Charizard EX, which is the one that's got like the animation and all the other kind of stuff to it. Yeah, that's 0.22222%. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? Now this is interesting because they don't usually do this for like gotcha game-ish type of stuff. I think they're doing this mainly because of gambling laws. A lot of people in a lot of different countries consider Pokemon cards, the whole thing, to be akin to gambling. And it kind of is. I mean, you spend $5 on a pack, and there's a chance that you can get something amazing, or there's a chance that you can get a pack of crap, you know. So it kind of is like gambling, you know. And so, of course, since this is all digital and you're not owning any of these cards, I think it's a lot closer to gambling than they really think. So they put in the pull rates for you. And some countries have this by law. You have to put up the pull rate. So I think this is actually pretty interesting. I don't know if I probably would give TCG Pocket a try. I think you get like one free pack a day or something. So, you know, pretty cool. So we move away from the Pokemon news. We got Ryan from the Bronx, aka I am not Midori anymore. So Ryan from the Bronx says the developer of Final Fantasy IX Remake was originally X-Scene. The project was moved in-house at Square Enix earlier this year for graphical refinement purposes, and the title looks similar to Memoria Project. Development is complete. So Memoria Project was a full-blown like texture graphical remake type of deal for it was a big mod, like a big texture mod for Final Fantasy IX. So I'm low-key excited but a little disappointed, because I was hoping for like a full-blown HD remake akin to like Rebirth, but not as like revolutionary as Rebirth as far as like changing the dynamics. I wanted to be turn-based combat, but I wanted to look like Rebirth. You know what I'm saying? And then he says Final Fantasy Tactics Remastered is still in development with the assistance of CBU3 and CS3. So these are different divisions of Square Enix. Triangle Strategy 2, however, was one of the canceled Square Enix projects. There is also a project between Team Asano and Freema Studio for mobile and VR platforms. So this right here was a bittersweet one. All right, because I the thing that introduced me to strategy RPGs was Final Fantasy Tactics, particularly the one on the DS. All right. So if it wasn't for that game, I probably wouldn't be a Fire Emblem fan. If it wasn't for Fire Emblem, this channel probably wouldn't be here, okay? Because Fire Emblem was massive for the channel at one point. So it's cool that we're getting a remaster of the original Final Fantasy Tactics from like the PS1 era. The bad news is Triangle Strategy 2 got canceled. Triangle Strategy 2 has probably been one of the best, like most under talked about games in the last couple of years. Triangle Strategy is great. All right, it's got the strategy RPG elements of like Fire Emblem, but it's got like the 2.5D of like a HD Gen 5 Pokemon game. And I just want you to think about that, because Generation 5 Pokemon was probably some of the best sprite work we've seen come out of Nintendo, like period. Okay, and this game is that in HD. If you haven't had a chance to play it, play Triangle Strategy. There's a demo out now for free. I think it's still on the store. So if you try the demo, game is awesome. Okay, story's awesome, character's awesome. Play the game. Alright. Sucks that we're not gonna get a sequel though, you know. So speaking of things that suck, we have the drama corner. We in the drama corner. So we have in the drama corner, some news came up yesterday about Ryujinx. So Nintendo has taken down another Switch emulator. Ryujinx was taken down. Apparently they gave some sort of agreement or deal to the guy running Ryujinx. I don't know if they paid him money. I don't know if they released his family from some Nintendo Black site somewhere. I don't know what happened, but they gave homie a deal that he couldn't refuse, and so he closed the project. And so one homebrew developer on Twitter, his tweet came across my timeline, and I was like, oh yeah, I got to talk about this one. He says, oh my god, Ryujinx, the remaining Nintendo Switch emulator has ceased development. At the time of writing, there are no active ways to help preserve Nintendo Switch video games after all the consoles cease working. Nintendo, stop destroying video games. Stop destroying video games. Wow. Okay, that's crazy. So now my whole thing when it comes to piracy is, if it's like an old game, like some game from like 15, 20 years ago that there's no real legal way to play, by all means, because there's no legal way to play it. And I mean, it's going to take like God knows how long for them to put it on Nintendo Switch Online or whatever. So go ahead and play it. You know what I'm saying? But if it's a modern game, something that you can get, like something that's readily available on a system that is readily available, why would you need to pirate it? You know what I'm saying? There would be no need to emulate it at that point, because you can get it. Switches exist. They're out there. The game is out there. Like, the only real reason you need to pirate is there's some sort of obstacle from you being able to play it legally. You know what I'm saying? The only obstacle from you playing a Switch game legally is money. And don't get me wrong, I understand that, because I had to choose between Zelda Echoes of Wisdom and Sparking, the DBZ fighting game one. I had to choose between the two, and I was like, you know what, I get DBZ on the next go around because I want to play Zelda, you know. And so it is what it is. I'm not rich, I get it, but no, man, there's only two groups of people that are trying to pirate. I mean, they're trying to use Switch emulation. One is people who just want to play their Switch games on PC. You know, maybe it's for better performance. Maybe it's because you're a content creator and it's easier to make content out of Switch footage off the PC. You know, it could be any myriad of reasons. Maybe you just want to play your games on Steam Deck, you know, something like that. Or you just don't want to pay for the games. Which, again, it is what it is. I get it, money is tight, but still. All right, preserving video games is not a good argument for piracy when it comes to modern games. Stop. That's cap, bro. That's cap. All right. That's about it. So tell me what you think in the comments down below. Like, comment, subscribe, and as always, people, keep it real.